about sacks. Sometimes being able to be on the field and creating that one-on-one offensive line for Jalen Carter to get through, or giving guys like Milt Williams a chance to make plays, is why you get paid in this league. Because not everything is sacks. For example, Vince Wilfork was not always the sack guy, but he did create a lot of pressure for offensive line to stop, which allowed other guys on the New England Patriots to get those one-on-one, offensive line to beat them. To get
and why you thinking and why we talking about it? Let's go back to the NFC Championship game.
Which I think
they were so focused on doubling up on Jalen Carter. There was a crucial play in the second half when Jalen. Remember, we got the ball to start the second half. They got us on the 3-and-out. Well, guess what? It was a second down play, and guess what? Jordan Davis gets the sack. Why? Because they were too busy worried about doubling up on Jalen Carter. They didn't even think about Jordan Davis. And Jordan Davis went and got the sack. Next thing you know, it's 3rd and 20. Everybody pays attention. Jordan Davis was not drafted to be a pass rusher or a sack guy. But during the second half of the season, Jordan Davis started to get in better shape and started to be more productive.
I'm telling you, he's going to have a Fletcher Cox type year, bro. I think he's going to be better.
Jordan Davis getting ready to break out this year.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis and Moro Ojomo, they get ready to show people this year. And this is what I want other people to realize. Moro Ojomo is somebody that nobody should sleep on, because Moro Ojomo was actually more effective rushing the passer last year than Jalen Carter was. And people don't even realize that. Moro Ojomo actually had more pressures on the quarterback and was more effective getting pressure on the quarterback last year than Jalen Carter was.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the thing about it. And actually, not only that, he was actually rated higher than Milton Williams was too. And he played less snaps. So if you're going to give that guy more snaps and more of an opportunity, I would dare ask NFL, are you ready? I'm gonna get my Triple H show right now. Are you ready?
Listen. I just watched Shot the Boss Cowboy, but I watched this last year. I don't think Eagle fans know how bad the Cowboy contracts are.
Oh no, I know. I'm Boss Cowboys fans. Shout out to. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this
a little bit more. And it's like,
I know. He's not a Boss Cowboy no more. He's Boss Show Me now.
It's Honest Cowboy now. It's Honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause see, here's the thing about it. Look, and I shout out to Boss. Shout out to Rome, the Cowboys fan talk. Shout out to DMV Fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those guys. Law Nation. You know, I want to shout out to Game Time Brian and Mark Holmes. I want to show those guys some love, because I'm gonna tell you right now. This season, I want y'all to understand, Eagles fans. Our Cowboys content creator counterparts are going to be in misery this year.
Yeah, imagine us having Angel Booth over Ringo.
They're going to be in misery, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's their own fault, because too many of these goofies literally bought in to the company BS. Now, I'm glad that the people that I just mentioned over in Cowboy Nation, they're not the goofies that don't understand what they see. They can actually look at what they see and immediately adjust their expectations. And these guys, immediately after the week one of the preseason, these guys immediately said, yeah, bro, we got a lot of work to do. They understood that. Don't matter what Jerry Jones say, what the players say, none of that in the media, what Brian Schottenheimer. Nah, man. They're starting to understand what it looked like, and they already know what they got right now, that ain't it. It's one thing when they sit there and they got all hype about what they were seeing from their team when their team was playing, when their offense was playing against their own defense. But then it got switched up real quick when they realized, oh, wait a minute, we're not playing against our own players. We got to play against some other dudes, and this ain't gonna do it. So I got to give them credit. They understood that, hey man, this ain't it. But at the same time, they gotta understand this gonna take them. It ain't gonna happen for them this year. They're gonna be They're gonna be either in third or fourth place in the division this year. And like I said, I'm telling you right now, man. I'm not sleeping on the fucking Giants, man. I'm not.
I'm sleeping on because I don't think they got a quarterback, man. I don't think Russell Wilson's it.
It's not even that with me, though. It's not even that with me.
Shedeur Sanders look better to me than Jackson Dart.
He does, but here's my thing. That's not even it's that defense. That D line, that's that front seven that they got. But I'm telling you right now, that front seven. If Dexter Lawrence can stay healthy, and Thibodeau and Carter can produce, bro, it's a problem.
Ain't a problem for us, man. They might be
that front seven could pose some problems. Now their secondary is still suspect as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna front. They suspect. That secondary, I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. And they O-line, I'm not impressed with their O-line either. So for the most part, I'm not saying that for us they're going to be a problem. I'm just saying for some people that come in there against the Giants half-stepping, that defense might goddamn get up on you and make you feel some type of way. At least from a front seven perspective. Now, as far as us, I ain't worried about it at all. And everybody's sitting there, I hope nobody's panicking about this Landon Dickerson situation.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
No, it's not huge.
You don't think so?
It's a concern. It's a concern, but it's not a major concern. And this is what I keep telling people when it comes to what's going on in the trenches, especially from the offensive side. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep this line in your mind. If they are coached by Stout, I have no doubt.
I said this early in the beginning. Okay, that's great. Stoutland can coach, but it's like Landon Dixon. We're not going to act like Landon Dixon ain't the best right guard in football.
No, he's the best left guard in football, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying though.
So it's like
what I'm saying though is now if it's on now if this injury is on the longer side of it, now I got an issue. But if it stays on the shorter to the middle side of it, I'm not worried. It's a minor concern, sliding to a medium level concern. But it's not a major concern because I believe Coach Stoutland, whoever he has that he's going to have fill in there, is going to be coached up well enough per game to be able to get us through.
You trust the offensive line that we drafted? Do you think they can step in?
I do. Look, what did I just say? If they coach by Stout, I have no doubt. I'm not worried about the O-line. Yeah. Coach Jeff Stoutland is there. Those kids are in Stoutland University, and from day one you get there, it is no holds barred, no mercy, relentless, get the fucking shit right.
What was Landon Dixon?
I know that's the coach I got.
What pick was Landon Dixon?
Landon Dickerson was a second-round pick.
Okay, but here's my thing. This is why I would disagree with you, Stu, and this is why I rock with you because we disagree and agree. But at the end of the day, we could come to our neutral ground. Would be, I don't think that Landon Dixon, like if we can, let's say for example, right, the best scenario is we get him by, let's say, the Broncos game. Do you trust one of those, let's say, offensive linemen like Matt Pryor or someone like that to fill in, or a guy like Steen? You know, let's
Yes.
say Queen has to go week 1. You trust him to
Yes.
step in and be okay, and there'll be no issues. Because
Yeah,
we've seen
I'm not saying that.
like,
I'm not saying there's going to be zero issues, but I'm going to say there's going to be minimal issues. And here's why. First of all, Tyler Steen's going to be at the right guard. If anybody's going to be at left guard that I think Stout will put out there, will be Matt Pryor, because he is experienced playing in the guard position, experienced playing for Philadelphia at the guard position. So I'm not worried about that. And Stout knows how to goddamn get him to work. So I'm not worried about that. That's why I'm saying when it comes to the O-line, okay, cool. Certain guys are down. I know we have depth on that O-line, and Stout is not treating any one of those players or coaching any one of those guys in that O-line room like they're not starters. He is coaching every one of them like, hey, bro, you may have to start, bro. So I got to get you right. So I'm not worried about that. So everybody else in a panic over it, I get it. I get it. That's Landon Dickerson. Ain't nobody you gonna find that's gonna fill in. That's gonna be Landon Dickerson. Not arguing with you there. But I'm confident that whoever Stoutland puts there will be adequate enough to get us through until he's back in the lineup. So that's my whole thing with that. Like, trust me, I know it would be a significantly better scenario if it's Landon Dickerson out there. And I'm not going to deny that. And trust me, if we can have him out there, he ready and healthy, full go week 1, I'm on cloud 9. I'm at the top of Mount Everest planting the flag, you know what I mean, saying the Super Bowl repeat. I got to take a minute, realize that, hey, look, we had a shorter off season than a lot of teams. So some guys can get nicked up early. Got to hold back on it a little bit and understand that, look, give it some time. But at the same time, I understand it's O-line. Nah, I got Jeff Stoutland as my O-line coach. So these boys is going to be ready to play, whoever go out there. So anybody who's nervous about that, let me go and tell y'all, man, calm it down, simmer down now. We all right. We going to be straight. Like Kendrick Lamar said, we going to be all right. We going to be all right. I don't see us, like, unless it's like within the first 4 or 5 games, we may lose one, maybe. But I don't see that really, because I'm sorry, if we fully, I'm going to tell you right now, if we get to that Tampa Bay game and everybody healthy, Tampa Bay going to get their ass whooped. That's going to be an ass whooping for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay going to get their ass beat. Everybody was like, oh, y'all didn't beat them last year when y'all played them. Yeah, no A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson not at right tackle. Fuck that. We see them this year fully healthy. They getting their ass whooped because when we seen them earlier in the 2023-2024 season when everybody was healthy, look at the score and what happened to them. We put a belt to their fucking ass behind the goddamn woodshed. Don't nobody want to talk about that though. All they want to talk about is the playoff loss, and they don't want to talk about the fact that, oh, key players weren't even on the field. Yeah. So, like I said, all these media dudes, they narrative people, they not trying to tell you the real. They not about the truth, tell you the truth.
Yeah, I want to do that hiding for this week, man. I want to see if Stu can come on. All 3 of us can just watch the game together and class.
No, I'm shit. Even if it's not local in my area, I'll sit right here with y'all. Shit, I ain't got no problem with it. I'm with it. Because whatever it is, I'll be watching some game that's on TV. Mm-hmm. You believe that? I'm gonna be watching some kind of football that's on TV. If it's football on TV, oh, believe that. I'm gonna be here watching, and I will hop right on the stream.
Because you know Stu's favorite quote of the day. This is how I know how he's coming all the time, man.
And I have half the brain that you do.
What did he say?
You try to make me look like a jackass, but you know and I know
Shit, yo. Cause see me, I just like the thing about it is with me, man. I grew up, you know what I'm saying, and all the time, depending on where I was living at the time, Eagles wasn't always on TV.
Yeah.
It was different teams. So you know what? I was like, fuck it. I can still find out what's going on to score the game just by watching whatever game the fuck is on. I'll get updates. So I just watched whatever team was playing. It didn't matter to me. I knew what I was really paying attention to, but whatever game was on the TV, I'm cool with it. I'm just watching football. And then it got to a point where I started to think about it. Well, like, shit, this could be somebody we playing against at some point. So now let me actually start paying attention to everybody. And that's what it was. That's where I fell in love with, like, not just being an Eagle fan, but being a fan of football and the process of actually becoming the best player that you could be, the training camp aspect, the get enamored by 40 times and measurables that the things that they see at the combine and stuff like that. No, that's because you guys are worried about looking at athletes. I don't want to watch an athlete. I'm looking for football players. And that's what I'm looking at when I'm watching players. Which one of y'all are actual? That's why I love when they kept talking about Smitty being all small and how he was undersized. And his response was, do you want a bodybuilder or do you want a football player? That was his response. You want a bodybuilder or you want a football player? Because that's the difference. A lot of these GMs and front offices, they get enamored and they get so fixated on these athletic aspects. Okay, cool. They're athletic. Are they football players? There's a difference between being an athlete and being a football player. And that's why that's why I fell in love with this, the small details of football, because it lets you know, okay, this guy's an athlete, that guy's a football player. And then when you hear people talk about the game, you automatically hear in your mind, okay, he's just a fan, but that's a football guy. That's a football guy, right? And that's why that's why I say I like to separate myself with that, because I'm not just a fan, bro. I'm a football guy. Everything about the game itself, I am fucking in love with this shit. So when it comes to evaluating the players, knowing what players need, thinking, okay, well, look, this needs to happen. This is what's supposed to happen. This and the third. I'm all about that because that's the shit that I'm intrigued by that shit. So when people tell me, oh, you might as well put it, you act like you got the headset on yourself, like you know better than some of those. I probably do. Well, hell, I can tell you right now, half of the motherfuckers couldn't break down plays and shit like that the way I did. Majority of the motherfuckers just literally, I hear other fans regurgitate half of the shit these motherfuckers say, and I'm like, okay, they said it, but what did they show you to prove what they said?
Well, we got I guess we got one of those trolls in here. It's cool, bro. You don't have to agree with us. You just do this.
What did he say?
You tried to make me look like a jackass, but you know and I know that you only
Tommy. Oh God.
This is why I gotta say him.
They got the answers. I change the questions.
Because, like, bro, first of all, man, like, number one, you're wrong. Keith Ringo wasn't bad as you claim he was. Okay, and if he was, you said Sidney Brown has showed you something. Really? What is he showing you? He's played one full season under his.
Hey, hold on. That's correction. He has not played a full season.
Well, I mean, in 2023, he played maybe not one full season, but he almost played.
He hasn't played a full. He has the majority of the time he's been here. He's been a bench warmer, just like Ringo.
Okay.
Tommy? What the fuck did he show you? The pick six against the goddamn Cardinals. Tommy, if you think Sidney Brown reminds you of Brian Dawkins, I got a special seat for you. It's over there. Back right corner. Facing the window where you can see all the pretty birds and the ducks in the pond. It's called the kids' table. Go over there and sit down, man. Because ain't nothing about goddamn Sidney Brown that ever resembles a Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. For any of y'all that say Sidney Brown reminds you of Brian Dawkins, sit down and shut the fuck up. He's nothing like Brian. The last player, literally. You want to see a player that you want to talk to me about a player that played like Brian Dawkins? Okay. You want to mention C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Cool. I'll give you that. You want to mention Malcolm Jenkins? Cool. I'll give you that. Sidney Brown? Eat a box of fat baby stiff dicks. Sidney Brown ain't nowhere near close or in the vicinity of being mentioned in the same fucking breath as Brian Dawkins. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Brian Dawkins was a dog as a rookie. As a rookie, Brian Dawkins, we already can see he was that dog coming out of Clemson. Bro, don't you ever put Sidney in the same fucking breath as Brian Dawkins. You put him in that same breath, I can tell you, you don't know shit about football. Sit down and talk to somebody else. You don't know shit about football. This is over 40 years of knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not hating on Sidney. I just know he don't belong in the same breath as goddamn Brian Dawkins. Get the fuck out of here with that. The fuck out of here with that. You could talk to some little kids with that goofy shit. You ain't gonna talk with somebody who know better. The fuck out of here with that. Talk to some goofy. You all just hating on him. No. I'm calling a spade a spade.
Enough from the clown.
I'm sorry.
I'm calling a spade a spade.
Yeah.
He ain't in the same breath with Brian Dawkins.
Wrong!
Yeah.
Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Fucking talking about he remind me of Brian Dawkins. How? In what?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Exactly. Tommy, all of that was for you. All of that was for you. Cause
my favorite
Because you
audience
can't handle the truth. Because you can't
like
handle the
I try to figure out.
This is for Tommy too.
You're fired.
Get him up out of here, man. Like we ain't gonna
Get him out of here.
Sit him up out of here, man. We ain't got time for stupid. Listen, man. Like this is why you need to go find a new channel, because if you want to hear booger eating fat talk and takes with these, I call them as a perfect example of a feel good Raider, because that's what you want. You want to say Kevan Ringo's the problem. Kevan Ringo's the problem. It's not Sidney Brown. Everybody's just bad. It's number 7's bad. Well, then you're on the wrong channel, buddy. Because we don't do here. You know, if you want to hear,
if you want somebody to say something that's gonna make you feel good, to make you feel good about how you feel, you might want to go somewhere the fuck else. Because I ain't that dude.
Like, and
I'm not. I got a cousin that does content here on YouTube, and she will tell you, I am Mr. Fuck Your Feelings. So don't come in here if you want your feelings coddled with me. No.
This is why I love Sid Justice, man. My favorite quote.
But you know and I know that you're only half the man that I am.
Goddamn, they don't want this work.
And I have
My goddamn cousin Sonny will tell you. My cousin here, and he is Mr. Fuck Your Feelings. So if you gonna see, if you sensitive, You don't want to be around him because he don't give a damn about your feelings at all. Yeah, you about to make me grab a beer.
Sit back and
Matter
sit because if you because let me tell you something, like this is what's going to happen. I mean, you know, and Stu and I have been talking about this, but we might start a channel because listen, if anybody these goofies can start podcasts, we can start a podcast too, right? Because y'all can start podcasts and shit like that. You get 1,000 subscribers. I mean, all we got to do is tell you what you want to hear. But see, we don't need to do that. We're not going to do that because listen, I've said this all along. If I have to do the goofy route where I have to get 1,000 subscribers to get recognized,
just by telling y'all what y'all wanted to hear, come on now, nah. See, here's the thing about it. That's the problem with a lot of fan bases. That's why I love our fan base, yo, because we not the type of motherfuckers in this fan base to tell you what the fuck you want to hear. If you looking for a motherfucker to tell you what you want to hear, you don't want to sit around with Eagles fans because we don't give a fuck about what you want to hear. We're gonna tell you the real. Some Eagles fans you may agree with, some of you ain't gonna agree with. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's all Eagles fans. And and I'm not gonna lie, there's some Eagles fans out there where I sit back and I listen to them and I go, man, what the fuck are you talking about? But at the same time, it's their thing. I'm not hating on it. But at the same time, I'm going to do me, and I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm the controversy. You looking for controversy? I Mr. Controversy right here. I want all the smoke. I want it all. Because I promise you, you can't change my mind in this shit. There is nobody that you can find. Nobody that can come on this platform right here and out-talk me in football. Nobody. Nobody on this planet that you can come and get out-talk me on football IQ and X's and O's. Nobody. And I'll stand on that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you would say. I mean, people are going to talk crazy. Brian Dawkins was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2018. So, what does that have to do with it? Okay, and are you like before I go off? Are you saying he's better? Are you saying because if you're saying he's Sidney Brown, like here's what I want you to tell me.
Yeah, no. Gregory is actually making our point. Gregory's making our point.
Mm-hmm. That's what I want to know. I want to know where he's
he was making our point. Greg was making our point.
Then my fault.
Brian Dawkins, yeah, he was making our point. Brian Dawkins
my fault.
Was inducted in the Hall of Fame right after we won our first, actually the weekend, we won our first Super Bowl as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Sidney Brown ain't nowhere near that.
No, it's not. And I keep hearing people say that stuff, including Eagle fans, and it's like, y'all need to stop doing that. Like, you know, I'm hearing people already saying that, you know, Sidney Brown is just he wants to hit someone. Well, there's a difference between hitting someone and being undisciplined. I love the physicality when a player wants to hit. Cool. But
the thing about it is
to go with it.
The controlled discipline, and not only the controlled discipline, but being in the position to do your job where it doesn't put your team at risk. Yeah. That was the one thing that Brian Dawkins was the greatest safety at. He did his job. He played with instinct. He could hit, but he never was out of position to where he hurt his team. Yeah. That is the difference. Sidney Brown couldn't put all of that together for one season if he fucking tried. Yeah. Here's why. And Tommy, this is where I keep telling you, there's the difference. You're the fanboy. I'm the football guy. The reason why Sidney Brown is not and will not ever be in the same breath as Brian Dawkins is because what I explained earlier. There is not enough time on the field honing and working to get better at his craft for him to ever be on Brian Dawkins' level. Do you understand that Brian Dawkins came into the league where they were running 2-a-days and 3-a-day practices for hours at a time, where they spent a maximum of at the most 2 to 3 hours a day with their own families, just working with the coaches and the other players on their team to get better? That amount of time that they had working on their craft to get better, to be ready and prepared, has been cut down by 60 to 65%. He will never be in the same breath as Brian Dawkins because of the players in between Brian Dawkins and him. The collective bargaining agreement stripped a lot of these young players of the valuable time that they needed to develop to be the best that they could. Stop putting Sidney Brown in the same conversation as Brian Dawkins. It's not even close, and it never will be. Period.
You clearly weren't listening, so let me just educate you, because clearly you just opened your ears once and didn't bother listening to the whole conversation. No one is hating on Sidney Brown. If anything, we want him to succeed. What we said was he's not what y'all think he is. I mean, Hayden, I guess if Hayden is speaking facts, then guess what? I'm a damn hater. I'm the biggest hater.
But hold on. That's the thing about it, though, EC1. Telling the facts in today's society is being a fucking hater. That's all it is. In today's society, if you keep it real, you tell the facts, you a hater. I swear to God, one of my favorite underground rappers that never made it to the motherfucking bigs and to never get that contract from New York. His name is My Song. He did a freestyle. He said it flat out. When I tell you niggas is frauds, I'm a hater. Mm-hmm. When you tell niggas the truth, they label you a hater off top. They label you a hater.
Whatever your name is. What did Sidney Brown show you?
They label you a hater.
Let's actually go back and understand what we're saying. No one is saying Sidney Brown can't develop. We're not saying that. We hope he could develop, but my God, he doesn't have the amount of, he's not allowed the amount of time on task to be able to develop to the level to be even put in the same breath as Brian Dawkins. That's what I'm trying. See, what y'all don't understand is what me and EC1 is trying to do right now. And y'all have to understand what y'all have to understand. This is EC1, the younger, newer generation, mixing with me, Stoner Stu, the old head, the 45 damn near, the 45-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Literally what we're trying to do is we're bridging the gap. And right now I literally, DMX said it best. You say you hunger for knowledge, here it is, eat it. I'm trying to give you knowledge and give you game on how they have literally molded your mind into thinking that certain players are this and certain players are that, when that's not the case, and it can never be the case. They keep telling you this, and I promise you this. Didn't they say last year, coming out, oh, Caleb Williams, he could be the next Patrick Mahomes? What the fuck he look like? Y'all were hyping up Kevin Wallace. How was he doing? Where's he at? Because, y'all were swarming that he was Brian Dawkins. And this is why I learned from my mistakes, right? Because y'all said we're hating on Sidney Brown, but y'all hate on Kelee Ringo. See, y'all not speaking facts with Kelee Ringo. And this is the problem what I had. Y'all said we're hating. No, we speaking facts with Sidney Brown. You're not speaking facts with Kelee Ringo. So are you a hater with Kelee Ringo then? Because you're probably one of them goofy ass dudes. And I bet you 100% of you in the chat that probably says typing in your little keyboard along with the other goofies. Y'all hating on Sidney Brown. No, y'all hate on Kelee Ringo. Y'all quick to get rid of him.
And here's what's so funny. And here's what's so funny, EC1.
Sidney Brown did.
Here's what's so funny, EC1. They're sitting there talking about we hate. No, dumbass. We're making the same argument for one that we're making for the other. The same argument about time on task to develop. We're making the same argument. Both of them need reps, but here's the thing about it. No matter how many reps they get, first of all, I'm gonna go and say this. Sidney Brown.
I think the experiment's over, honestly. Dude, like, what is he showing?
No, that he can't look. And here's another thing. I don't know if y'all heard this. What is the best ability that any player can have? Availability. Guess who's not been available?
Having good hair.
Sidney Brown, every year he's been here, he has suffered from an injury from playing reckless. Your best ability is availability. If every year you've been here, you've been hurt, starting from the beginning, sometimes during training camp or the beginning of the season, you're not available.
Yeah.
That's the one ability that every franchise values more than anything else. Are you available when you're needed?
I change the questions.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We could talk about this all day long.
Handle the truth.
But I've waited. I've wanted. We said it last week when we was doing this. Now we're saying it again. I am challenging someone. Please come debate me on this. Tell me where I'm wrong so I can show you that I'm not. This is what I do. I've been doing this over 40 years strong.
I'll give Kevin talk burst because he was challenging you.
Oh no, man. No, me and Kev, this is not the first time. Me and Kev do that shit all the time.
I know.
But I love it with Kev though, because Kev is fun to actually go back and forth with.
Absolutely.
Because the passion that he speaks with.
Absolutely.
And it's not like Kev don't. It's not like Kev don't know what he's talking about. Kev knows what he's talking about.
He knows football, but I like to see why people feel like Kelee Ringo isn't doing what he's supposed. Because when I watched the film, it's like, okay,
and that's but I don't think that's. I think the whole getting the reps and the looks in practice and not being able to be out. I think the time on task and the reps and the things that he needed hasn't been given to him. So he hasn't been able to develop and improve. You gotta think about it. We had Slay and Bradbury. Then we brought in Isaiah Rodgers. And then we bring in Quez and Cooper DeJean. Now we got Slay, Bradbury, Quez, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Isaiah Rodgers, and Ringo. And you still got Eli Ricks and all these other dudes. They just throwing everybody in the mix. Who's ever going to really have a chance to really separate themselves? And then on top of that, with Rodgers, Bradbury, and Slay, they're already going to get experience seniority. And then Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, they're going to get draft seniority from the round that they were drafted in. So that's automatically going to push him back. These are things that that average fans are not understanding that this is what happens. And so his development got slowed only because, let's not forget, how many times did I say this? Over the last 2 collective bargaining agreements, their time on the field to practice and hone their craft has been cut down by 60 to 65% over the last 20 years. So these guys now coming into league, they don't have the time on task with coaches running 2 a days and 3 a days for a few hours where they're really working on it and actually doing what they need to do to get better. But we getting mad at the guy because he's taking lumps from some of the best receivers in the league. What? And then the very same coach that said, "Oh, I put him in that stressful situation for a reason, because those things are going to have to come up and he's going to have to learn how to deal with them. Yeah, he could have did a better job, but that's good for him. It helps him develop faster. It helps him develop more, because he already said, what does he need to be? He needs reps. He needs them reps. And with them reps, you got to take them lumps. Y'all think back in the day, them players that was first and second and third round picks, they wasn't taking them lumps early in camp and in practice and in preseason? Oh, yes, they were. But that's part of the process. You got to take them lumps. The thing about it is, with Sidney Brown, my thing is this: 3 straight years, we have watched him be playing. Whenever he's out there, he's reckless. He's not playing with controlled discipline. And that's something that at this point, not only that, he's constantly getting himself injured, playing with his hair on fire, not playing discipline, and just trying to lay the big hit.
I don't think he plays with his hair on fire. I think he's the one that gets burnt.
When it comes to him playing the deep safety and trying to go make a hit, he plays with his hair on fire, and he just tries to, but he is not. You know how many times I watched him try to play with his hair on fire, make a big hit, and actually get just completely whiff?
Yeah, I mean, dude gets blown up.
But there are times, hold on, I gotta say, there are times with Sidney Brown.
Sidney Jones is crazy.
And that's another person that never got the proper time to develop and give him a chance to actually be who he was.
He was the same after the Achilles. He didn't look
Yeah, no, it wasn't that he wasn't the same after the Achilles. My thing is this: the fact that they brought Ronald Darby back and didn't give it to Sidney Jones to actually play, and then the fact that another thing that really tore me up about that year, hell, Ronald Darby was gone for 10 games. Hell, Rasul Douglas stepped in and he played perfectly fucking fine. We didn't do bad.
When we traded Jordan Matthews for him, man, I was happy as hell.
I did not want us to trade Jordan Matthews. I would have rather us trade Jordan. Here's the reason. Here's the reason why I would have rather. You could have hated Jordan Matthews all you wanted to, but leading into that season, he was our best receiver for 2 years straight.
I mean, come on, Stu. That was, come on, like, dude, he was our best receiver. He couldn't draft receivers, man.
He was the only one. But hold on, we also had Zach Ertz and Nelson Aguilar in them. He was still the only one that was consistently open. Let's not get it confused. Let's not get it confused. If he's the only one getting open,
he also had the most dropped balls out of any receiver we had, didn't he? That 1 year.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
A lot of footballs, bro.
He dropped some, but he didn't have the most drops. It was still Aguilar.
He was all right. He was good.
Aguilar was the one that had the drops, and him and Dorial Green Beckham.
Oh yeah, him, winner right there. We traded Dennis Kelly for him. I don't want
Dorial Green Beckham.
I had potential for him. That guy I thought was going to be nice. You know, it's Isaiah Roger, Darius Slay ship that has left the port of his signed deals with Minnesota and Pittsburgh respectfully. Be happy for them. We need some Vic. Why would I be happy for them? I don't care about
No. I will be happy for them. Because you know what?
Why am I being happy for them?
I'm gonna be happy for them. I'm gonna be happy for them because they played their role. They are Super Bowl champions as Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be happy for them. I wish them nothing but the best. But you're right. We need to start looking at, like I said, it's Vic Fangio. Vic is the one. You got to think about this, y'all. 2023-2024 season, we were the second to the last defense of the league. It wasn't just the players that came in. It was one voice on that defense that everybody had to listen to, and it was Vic Fangio. All year long, you heard them defensive players on the D-line, on the secondary, at the linebacker position, all talk about how vital Vic was and how he's a no old school, no nonsense. I'm going to give you the answers to the test. Be where you got to be when you need to be here. That type of football coach. It's not everybody else. I'm not worried about that. We lost players on defense, but guess what? if you got one of those ones at that coaching position or the defensive coordinator that can literally teach these guys, hey, look, this is what we doing. This is why we doing it. This is what you're going to be looking for. And when you see it, trigger. That's literally all it was last year. Everybody played their role. When the ball came out, everybody triggered to the ball and hunted. That's all it really is, man.
Mhm.
Don't let nothing pass you, nothing over your head. Keep everything in front of you. Trigger everybody, all 11 to the football. That's all it is.
Yeah. I think Vic Fangio has a lot of questions because, like I said, I don't think, I think that this defense, to me, in my opinion, would have been better with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I mean,
But look, you say he got a lot of questions. You say Vic got a lot of questions. I say he has an answer.
I say he has a lot of questions too, because I said, I think Howard Roseman trading C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We need to hope that. And listen, we can always hope, but Andrew Makuba has some big shoes to fill. Do you not agree with
He
this?
does, yeah. No, he does. He really has some big shoes to fill. He does have some big shoes to fill.
See, what I would have done was I would have kept C.J. Gardner-Johnson and then draft Andrew Makuba in the second round and let him learn under C.J. for 1 year. Let him learn how to be a safety in this league. You know what I'm saying? Let him learn.
That's true. That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really looked at last year, C.J. Gardner-Johnson never played in Vic's scheme before.
Yeah,
This is his first time in Vic Fangio's scheme. So he had to come in and learn it. Now, granted, he was a veteran. He understood his role at the safety position. He knows basically how to play that safety position, but playing it in Vic schemes. Now, you got to think about it. I'm not saying he's at the same level, but the same skill set.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Buda Baker / C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you basically got Andrew Makuba. That's basically Andrew Makuba. He's just in a smaller frame. My thing is this. I don't need you to be the hitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to be that loud talking. I just need you to be that guy that's in position where you're supposed to be at. That's all I need you to be. It's all about, see, look, it's 11 guys on defense. And if each man is doing their specific job on defense, the defense works. If it's 11 men on offense, every man on offense has their own individual job to do. If they all do it, the offensive play works. All I need, like I said, it's on Vic to me. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, they got the skill set. Those are the first and second round pick. Well, guess what? Andrew Cooper's a second round pick. I mean, he's got the skill set. But there's another answer to the equation that we're all forgetting about. And guess what? He's out there practicing. The other answer to that question is Jahad Campbell. And that's what everybody keeps forgetting. Jahad Campbell, he is a pass rusher and he can cover running backs and tight ends. Andrew Makuba is part of the answer, but the other part of the answer is Jahad Campbell. And what everybody else seems to forget, there's the dark horse sneaky answer that everybody's leaving out. And that would be the very person that I said last year, I wasn't happy with the pick, but come around full circle a year later, oh, he about to be a dog.
About Jalix Hunt?
Jalix motherfucking Hunt. Jalix fucking Hunt.
Isn't he a third round pick?
Yes. Yes, he was. He was our third round pick.
So why can't Sidney Brown not be just like Jalix Hunt, man? When he's supposed to be an early third and Jalix Hunt a late third. So late third is better than the early third? Okay.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Jalix Hunt started out his college football career as a safety, moved to linebacker, and then converted to a pass rusher. Mm-hmm. There's the difference. Sidney Brown's done nothing but play safety.
No, he should be a linebacker. They should switch him to be a linebacker. Maybe he'll be better.
I think now that, you know what? I did not think about that.
Just think about he loved hitting, right?
I did not think about that, but I don't think he has the frame for it.
No.
I don't think he has the frame for it. I would think he would need to bulk up a little bit because the sideline speed is there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? And the ability to, my thing is this though, is just like I said, a safety at the linebacker position, it's the same thing. Play recognition is a very key skill. It's very, very vital to the linebacker and the safety position. If you can't recognize what's happening in front of you, you're late to trigger and respond. That puts the team in a bind. I'm sorry. Just from that play that you were playing earlier with the Keely Ringo one, you swing your hand like that, and then you were late to trigger. You already knew that the ball went past you. Your play recognition should have already told you to trigger and take off, considering you were already playing with the leverage to get out there.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Actually, when I think about it, no, he wasn't playing with the leverage. He played inside leverage, which was actually pretty stupid. He actually
said your tweet. He gave Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase the answers when he didn't need.
He gave them the answer to the test. The moment he jumped up there, and he jumped in front of the goddamn tight end, and he was on the inside. First of all, you're a safety. You're coming on zero coverage, but your original assignment was a deep coverage. Why would you play to the inside when your help is to the inside? You play with outside leverage to force the receiver to the inside where your defensive help is. Why? Yeah. What? Oh my God. That's why I say noticing the alignment, the splits, knowing how you're supposed to play, the leverage you should play with, it all matters. That's where the football IQ comes in at. That's where I say play recognition from a safety position is vital, and he just simply doesn't have it.
Yeah, doesn't have it. And
he doesn't have it. And not only that, and here's the funny thing about it. He doesn't have it because he doesn't have time on task to be coached to recognize what he's doing. It's not his fault. It's really like, that's the thing about it. I'm telling y'all this shit to tell y'all it's not even these players' fault that this is the way this is the way it is. It's not even their fault. It's the players before them and the NFL's Players Association that came up with these bullshit collective bargaining agreement. You want to have a good collective bargaining agreement? Tell those motherfuckers, goddamn, to get rid of goddamn franchise tags and get rid of that 5th-year option bullshit.
Why should keep popping on the page?
Get rid of that shit. Guaranteed contracts for NFL players. Get rid of the goddamn franchise tag.
Yeah.
That if you want to do something, if you're a players association, do something that benefits the players. They're not doing it. Okay, Greg.
Because of a dominant D-line or expected linebackers play, we can wait to develop youth to plan on a rookie to a 3-year contract cheap. This is why we're happy finally get paid. Okay.
Oh, you know what, Greg? I don't necessarily disagree with that. But my thing is though, he's not. He's talking about.
Okay.
He's talking about that, but at the same time, he's actually explaining where it could be beneficial that way. But at the same time, it's a beneficial. He's explaining that it could be a beneficial thing, but at the same time, Greg, I would say this:
if they had more expensive to me, because look at his contract and how much he's making. You're not making it. You're trading him. Didn't give you any cap space this year. So you're looking at maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Where you could just kept
next year.
Next year. Okay, next year. Next year you could have traded him, right? Because now, and I think part of it was, if I was the Eagles, I would have kept C.J. Gardner-Johnson because I think that was the reason why, some of the teams were taking safeties because they knew he needed a safety. If you kept C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you might have were able to get at least 2 safeties, or could at least, kept Andrew Makuba, let him learn on the CJ, and then trade him, and Andrew Makuba would have been already good.
Here,
look at.
I'm gonna give you a couple of theories. I don't know this to be true, but these are just my theories, real quick on this one. First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say this: they had to get rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This is theory one. There is one player in this league that C.J. Gardner-Johnson does not motherfucking like. And right before they traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that motherfucker became a member of this goddamn division. And that motherfucker is Deebo Samuel. You know goddamn well. He don't like goddamn Deebo. He ain't like Deebo since goddamn 2022 NFC Championship.
Isn't that good for us, though? Like, how would that...
No, it's not.
But he's on the Eagles, though. He's on the Commanders, so he would have extra motivation.
But here's why that's not good. What's the one game we lost during the final stretch of the season where C.J. Gardner-Johnson got kicked out of the game?
The refs were horrible in that game, and they literally kicked him out for no reason.
But now it's somebody he got a legitimate beef with.
Hey,
you think they ain't gonna be motherfucking eyes on that? Not only that, number two, I think personally,
Brown has beef with the Commanders all the time. You see how he's torching cornerbacks over there. He has beef with Marshawn. Get rid of it? No, we can't. But
Marshawn Lattimore, we all know Marshawn Lattimore's a hothead. Yeah. We all know that. Marshawn Lattimore is a light-skinned version of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So it's easy for AJ to be able to keep a cool head, do what he do, and get him kicked out of the game. As far as the other way around, to see if AJ getting kicked out.
But I don't agree with this right here. CJ's too expensive. I don't think he's too expensive. I think they got rid of him because Fangio didn't like the way he came. You gotta understand, right? And this where I think Fangio does not like guys who are off the field, and that's what C.J. Gardner-Johnson was his own guy. Right, you couldn't control C.J. Gardner-Johnson like you could control someone like Quinyon Mitchell. You could control someone like A.J. Brown, right? C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a guy that says, "I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to play the way I want, and if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass." That's how his mentality was, and I don't think that Fangio agreed with the way he was going by it. Going on IG. And cussing at the refs is not something that Fangio looks at and says, that's a guy I want on my team. Remember, he did that after he got ejected. And I think that's what got him traded. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's anything to do with the parade. Like everybody's saying, well, it's because he talked to the Swifties. No, it's not because. It's because of when he went on live stream remember he got ejected, he went on live and said how much the referees were bullshit, throwing me out the game. And he was with Big Dom in the locker room. I mean, that didn't help his case. But I also think it's because him and Howard Roseman butt heads a little bit. Where Howie Roseman... There it is. Type of players like that. And you look at certain players...
Yeah, there's something about this comment that I need to address.
Mm-hmm.
He says if you're paying Saquon, AJ, Jalen... And hold on.
Contract for a while, aren't they?
Yeah, they're already under contracts, and their contracts are structured where that doesn't hurt the cap.
Yeah.
Jalen, AJ, Saquon, Jalen, AJ, and Smitty. Jalen, AJ, and Smitty together. Their cap hit against the cap collected together is the same amount of Dak Prescott's hit this year.
That's the comment I think that everybody needs to understand. Fangio did not like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Doesn't like him.
No.
He doesn't like type of guys like this. That's why he...
all that paying players, you're playing this player, that player, C.J. ain't had nothing to do with that because you already paying those players and still paying C.J.
I don't think Howard Roseman wanted to get rid of C.J. because if you notice Howard Roseman honestly...
No, Howie never wanted to get rid of. Here's why Howie didn't want to get rid of him.
Fangio. I think Fangio wanted him out, but here's the thing. Okay, you want to see C.J. Gardner-Johnson out. Well, you better hope that Andrew Makuba, if that is, let's say that's Fangio's guy, you better hope he works out, right? Because this is your guys, right? Howard Roseman's giving fans
what you want. He's giving you your guys, the guys that you want.
Yeah.
If this guy doesn't pan out, this is on you.
Thinks that Fangio don't have any asset of who he dropped. No, he does. He tells Howard exactly who he wants. You don't think
this is another thing, though. But this is another thing, though. This is another thing, though. And this is something that I think it was very vital that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to. Mm-hmm. Remember when Slay's goddamn last podcast right after we won the Super Bowl, when he was talking about
like that
when Slay was talking about who could be leaders and the next leaders up in the locker room. Well, he did mention Reed Blankenship.
No, he did mention him. He did mention CJ.
Yeah, he did mention Reed Blankenship. He didn't mention CJ. My thing is this. Did Slay already know that CJ was on his way out? Did Slay already know that?
I think
because here's the thing about that. Mm-hmm. You don't make that statement knowing that that's one of the guys in the locker room who literally during the season was one of those guys who was a vocal leader. You don't say that and not mention those leaders and not mention his name if you don't already know something.
I'll give you one better. Remember when CJ had a podcast with Ryan Clark and he said that he almost got in a fight with one of them. I guarantee that one of those fights were either one of the safeties that we drafted. Because if I had to put if I really had to guess who it would have been, you know what I'm saying, would have been one of the guys that he probably got they got playing time or something like that and he didn't like. You know, because like who would he be going after? You know, I think that him and Slay, in my opinion, this is how I feel. I think him and Slay did not get along with each other. And I think if Slay came back, CJ was already out that door, right? You saw it, and this is where and you and I might have disagreed with it, but when you saw them have autographs, you saw CJ staring at Slay like in like I hate you type. Because you know when you hate someone, you're going like this. You're going to them, you're going like.
You cutting that side out like nigga. If I had a chance, you cutting that eye. Look, you cutting that side. And like nigga, let me get one shot to punch you in your motherfucking mouth. God damn it, I'm gonna do it.
And I think that if Slay didn't, and this is where I think Slay screwed himself was not because of the CJ comment. I think it's when he went after Jalen. That's when Howard said, "I'm not bringing you back." If he didn't make that comment, I think we would have brought Slay back. It's just you can't bring someone back who said that. Hey, you know, I don't think Jalen's a top 5 or something like. Why would you say that when you're about to leave? If he just shut his mouth after that, he would have been back in Philadelphia. The reason why I don't think we brought Slay back was because, number one, because they had nothing to do with money. Because they could have brought, I mean, they paid Bradbury, so they had money. It was because you can't bring someone back who took a shot at your quarterback that's supposed to be your franchise. What would that say to your locker? You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but that's true. And I ain't going front. I'm not even going front. Now, hold on. And now that you mention it, remember back when Michael Parsons was talking about the top 5 quarterbacks? And that wasn't one of those top 5s? And that wasn't one of them top 5?
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Banana Pudding, I call him. You know, shout out to Joe.
Yeah, I had to laugh at that shit. I laughed at that shit.
Because that's what he was. Like, everybody liked him because of his white bread and banana pudding. And I get it. He was a leader. Now, I'm like, listen, you know, I can say Slay, you know, he brought a lot to this team. You know, we knew what it was like to not have corners. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why people are so upset with Shaquille Ringo, because they are afraid that we're going to have a bad corner. Because, you know, we've been through the worst. Like the Leotis McKelvin. Who was the guy that we had in 2008? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Nah. I've literally just read his motherfucking comment. Yo, that shit's funny to me, man. But yo, I gotta get off of here, man. I gotta get out of here because I gotta get up early and clock in for work.
We gotta do more of this, man. We gotta start.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna do that. Hold on, man. I'll be right there.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, we gonna look. We gonna reconnect Thursday for the game. We go sit here while we watch the game.
Man. Like Stu.
Oh yeah, we like I said, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
Because that's how I feel every time I'm hearing you, man. I mean, you over there you over there doing this stuff, like, this is how I feel like you're coming.
But you know and I know that you only have to
All right,
be the
I'll holler at you later about it, EC1. I'll holler
Yeah,
at you
that's
about
how-
it later.
For sure, man.
All right, later, bro. Always, man. Always.
For sure. It's gonna be fun this year, man. Before we get out, appreciate y'all for rocking. If you're new, hit that like button, subscribe. We definitely gonna do more of this, man. I gotta get going. I got work at 8 to 1:30 tomorrow, man. Yeah, I got a busy. And I got work 5 to 10 p.m. on Friday. So, appreciate y'all for coming on. As always, go Birds, flag will slide. Listen, man. Just because y'all have and listen, we can all disagree and agree. At the end of the day, I bring on my philosophies. I bring the guys that I bring some point of views. At the end of the day, this is how I feel. People might not agree with it. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's all about how I feel. And this is why I created my channel, man, because a lot of people ain't going to agree with me. At the end of the day, you don't have to agree with me. This is how I feel. This is how I look at things. I don't look at myself as a big content creator, but I'm going to bring the energy every day, man. Your boy EC1 rock with me as always. Flag was fly. If you are new, Twitter account, in case you want to follow me. If you want to add me, it's at MYOB. Mind your own business. I like that one. Mind your own business. That's why I call it MYOB. Because motherfuckers don't know when to mind their business. MYOB 78768. All right. So for all the people who want to follow me at MYOB. Just put at MYOB 76768. And yeah, you should be following me there. I mean, I do have IG. I don't really use it that much. But that's the best place to find me is MYOB78. It should pull up my Twitter account. Follow me, like, subscribe. Always share this content. As always, go Birds, flag was fly. Peace out. Peace out to everybody in the chat. Peace out to all the subscribers and moderators. Did their job. Shout to the moderators as always. Flag was fly. And we out, man. Go Birds.